Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a pretty good video, all things considered. When talking about the Switch, Switch 2, Nintendo, that kind of stuff, you never really know anymore. We have an update about some stuff going on in the industry that I think will directly affect the Switch 2. We have an update about Metroid Prime 4. We have an update about an upcoming Switch 2 game that will be releasing on all consoles. And the Switch 2 version is winning in a pretty big way. And then we might have a potential leak about an upcoming Zelda remake. So it's going to get right into this video. Yeah, when talking about Nintendo stuff or the Switch 2, you never really know what kind of news you're going to get anymore, but I think today we have a pretty good video. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep this amazing community growing, and let's just go ahead and get right into this. So, right now in the gaming industry, all across the board, things are expensive. And to say that's not happening, well, that would just be false news. Now, when Nintendo showed us the price of the Switch 2, initially we thought, that's pretty expensive, but it is what it is. Now, since the Switch 2 has came out, they have raised the prices of the Switch consoles, which is crazy, and accessories and amiibos, but they haven't raised the price of the Switch 2 at all. But PlayStation has raised prices, I believe, this year, and Xbox has raised prices this year, and Xbox just raised prices again for the second time in 6 months. Now, I'm not really here to call out Xbox and what they're doing, but quickly, the prices are crazy. The Series S will start at $400, and that was previously $379, and before that, $300. A Series X digital is now $600, a $50 increase. The Xbox Series X with a disc drive got a $50 increase to $650, and the version that has 2 terabytes of storage will now cost $800. That is insane. So the reason why I was saying this will directly affect the Switch 2, if you're in the market to get a console, do you get that $800 console or the $650 console? Or do you get the $450 console that's a hybrid console? And there's a good chance a lot of these games that are on Xbox, and maybe even some that are on the PlayStation, will be coming to that hybrid console that is damn near half the price of the competitors. I do think this will push some people to buy a Switch 2. I don't know what the hell Xbox is doing and the reason for this. I know it's because of tariffs, but like, is there another reason? Do they not want people to buy these consoles? I don't know. It's strange, but I do think this will directly affect sales for the Switch 2 in a positive way. Now, one of the most anticipated games we have this year is Metroid Prime 4. And for the longest time, I mean, we didn't know what was going on, but after they gave us a little teaser, I didn't even know if this game was going to release this year. They said this year a million times, but I almost felt like it was going to get delayed until next year. And that would have not surprised me, but it does have a release date, I think for November. I should know this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure November. And that is great news, right? Now, we've seen a couple trailers, but we still don't know too much about the game. I'm sure we will get a dedicated direct, but we do have some new information today that actually tells us quite a bit. And this information is coming directly from Nintendo. So this is the box cover, and this is obviously out of Japan. We've seen the front a million times. Oh yeah, what does that say? December 4th? Is that the day this is coming out? So I thought November, December makes more sense, I guess. This is a holiday game. The back, though, tells us quite a bit. Now, I don't know what any of this stuff means, but we're in the year 2025. We can translate this pretty quick. So somebody down here has translated the back. With the hopes vested in her or you, and her or your new powers, so, you know, that can be interchangeable, return home from an unknown planet. And then I guess the kanji is kind of blocked out by like light hitting the case. Having been transported across space and time to the unknown planet Vuros, Samus must carve a path with her newfound powers in order to return her to the original world. And then I guess it blocks out some other stuff. First person adventure, explore a full 360-degree world from Samus's viewpoint. Psychic abilities to honor the wishes of the people of this planet, make full use of the powers they grant to Samus, and solve mysteries. So the people of this planet will give Samus her powers. Cut through the vast expanse of Euros. So that is the name of your little motorcycle thing. And it also says Nintendo Switch Online will be used, but people are thinking that's for cloud data. And yeah, this is crazy. So we know time travel will be a main part of this game. And in that recent direct, there's a scene where Samus is like driving across a desert, And that small clip had a lot of people kind of pushing back saying, really? This is how this game looks? Dude, we've seen a bunch of trailers for this game. We can see that the game looks incredible. I will admit, when they're driving across the desert, it doesn't look too interesting. But now knowing that time travel is a main component of this game, there's a theory that when Samus is driving through that desert, like, you'll leave here and then go over here, and while you're doing that, she'll be traveling through time. So maybe it's like a certain period of time when you leave, and by the time you get over here, you're in the future or the past or something. So there's some theories going around, and I think there's going to be some really cool surprises. I'm sure they'll do that Nintendo Direct dedicated for Metroid Prime 4, and a lot more stuff will be revealed. But yeah, time travel is the main component, or the main theme, and that sounds freaking awesome. Now we also have another Switch 2 game that's upcoming that is, it's kind of crazy that this is happening and that we're getting it the same day as other consoles. And that is Resident Evil Requiem. I think this is considered Resident Evil 9. I really don't know. I don't know much about the Resident Evil franchise. I'll just be honest with you guys. I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you that I know everything. I've only played one Resident Evil game, and that is 4 on the GameCube. But the fact that this is coming to the Switch 2 and coming over the same day as other consoles, that is a testament to the power and performance of the Switch 2. Now, normally when this happens across the board, this game will be the same price, right? Probably $70 on Xbox, PlayStation, and the Switch 2. But, did hell freeze over? Are we in a different timeline? Because the Switch 2 version of Resident Evil Requiem is actually cheaper than other consoles. And that's just a crazy thing to happen. Normally Nintendo's the more expensive console. The Xbox and PS5 versions of this game are currently priced at 70 euros, but the Switch 2 version is listed for 60 euros. Dude, that's like a $10 difference. That's a pretty substantial difference, especially when, like I was saying, Nintendo stuff is always more expensive. Is this the biggest win? No, but I do think we should take any win we could get. I don't know if this will happen for other games, but I do think it has a lot to do with it being Capcom and Nintendo, and how well these games sell on Nintendo consoles. You can look at the top selling games or games that are on sale and then filter them by like most popular. Resident Evil games are always in that category on the Switch, and now the Switch 2, they sell incredibly well over there. So this makes a lot of sense for Capcom to drop it $10 cheaper on the Switch 2, knowing that will probably be where this game will sell the most. So it's an incentive to buy it over there, especially if you own an Xbox and a PlayStation and you're thinking, I don't know if I'll get it, but you also have a Switch 2 and you're like, well, it is $10 cheaper and I did want to get it, so I might as well get it there and I can play it handheld and dock to the TV. I just think that's a really smart move. Now, we have a theory, like a collective theory on the internet right now, about an upcoming Zelda game. This has been rumored for about a year or two now. And I just wanted it to happen so bad. And that is for an Ocarina of Time remake, right? Ocarina of Time, one of the greatest games of all time. I've beat it probably 10 times. I don't even think I have it in my top 10 Zelda games though. I do think it's amazing, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's in my top 10. I never played the 3DS remake, but I heard that was incredible. But like a true remake, I don't know what style they would do it in. Maybe like the Skyward Sword. Not that art style, but that kind of gameplay, like a true 3D remake. Or I don't know which route they would take with this. Maybe like a Link's Awakening art style? I truly don't know. But there's been a rumor for quite a while. Okay? And we know the Zelda movie is coming up in 2027. There's a good chance leading up to the movie and after the movie, they will flood the market with Zelda stuff the same way they did with Mario games. And what better game to do that with than remaking like the most profound and most popular Ocarina of Time remake. So right here is a really cool breakdown of why people think this is happening. They're saying the imprisoning war, the movie coming out, hookshot, and they're saying this is Link's Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy VII is often compared to Ocarina of Time, like the best in the series and the most important. And Final Fantasy VII is getting their remake package right now and is in like the whole atmosphere. So they could also remake Ocarina of Time right now, and they would kind of just retake over or something. And I know that sounds crazy, but it does happen. Like games that we don't see forever will come out like 20 years later, and then multiple of them will happen. We've seen it with Donkey Kong, like a 3D Donkey Kong and a new Pac-Man game, and then like Metroid and something else. And then, so this stuff does happen, even though it's a weird coincidence. But yeah, they're just giving us some theories about why this could be happening, and we've seen some leaks and some rumors and some other stuff. But we also have a new piece of evidence that could suggest this. So there is a new Lego set coming March 1st, 2026. This is 1,000 pieces, and this is a Ganondorf diorama from Ocarina of Time. I think there's a Great Deku Tree set coming out, or I don't know if it came out already or it's coming out. But yeah, there's just like a lot of random Ocarina of Time stuff getting made and starting to feel like that's the game, the next game Nintendo is working on or focusing on. Like, hey, remember Ocarina of Time? Yeah, just keep that game in mind, and we can't really tell you why. We got Breath of the Wild. We got Tears of the Kingdom. I honestly don't think we need that next giant Zelda game just yet. I would love for Nintendo to cook on that for a couple years, maybe 2027, 2028, something like that. Then we get that next big Zelda game. But right now, we get these almost annually. Let's get that remake, man. I could see this easily coming in 2026. And then the movie in 2027, and then maybe holiday 2027, that next big Zelda game. Obviously, this doesn't confirm anything, but I do think there's a lot of evidence pointing towards an Ocarina of Time remake. And I wouldn't be surprised if it did show up. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a big favor, hit that like and subscribe button, man. It helps out tremendously, seriously. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. That also helps out. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.